go Dreadnought. Let's go for Stifle and pass. Clock is now even. They have an island plus 1 unknown. Play the island. We might as well attack. We both have like 40 seconds on the clock. This is about as close as it gets. Alright, today we're playing a top tier pre-modern deck, thanks to Patreon supporter John. So thank you, John, for your support. And John wanted to see Stiflenought, which is like one of the premier tempo decks of the format. Mostly what we are trying to do is play a Dreadnought and then stifle the trigger so that it stays in play. You can also use Vision Charm, the mode that phases out an artifact. With the trigger on the stack, you use Charm to phase it out, then the trigger occurs and nothing happens to the Dreadnought as it is phased out, and then on your next turn it phases back in. And voila, you have a 12/12 trample. Outside of that, it is almost entirely draw spells. You have Opt, or draw spells and counterspells. So for draw spells we have Opt and Portent, and then we have Impulse and Gush, so we can get some card advantage, plus picking up the islands for foil can be very useful. And then we have Flash of Insight, which over time can accrue card advantage. So you have card selection, Opt, Portent, and Impulse, and to an extent Flash of Insight, and then card advantage in Gush and Flash. And then of course we have counterspells. We got 3 Daze, 4 counterspell, and 4 foil. And then a few cards to just stop things that might slip through the cracks. A couple of powder kegs. Can kill Mishra's Factories or various small creatures. I only know so much about the format, so there's probably other things that this commonly deals with that you would otherwise have issues with. The Singleton Annul, I would imagine, is mostly to be able to find against Parallax Tide. When you know you're in a Tide matchup, you can target your cantrips to be able to find it so that you have a better chance of dealing with Tide in game 1. But I don't know. I've only played the format so much, and I've never actually played this deck. My initial inclination is to remove a null and play 4 Opt, and somehow make room to play 4 Daze. But I'm not going to do anything to the list, because I'm no expert. This list is from my good friend Nick, of whom I often travel to events with, and of whom I traveled to Eternal Weekend last year, where, or was it 2 years ago? I mean, we went last year and the year before, but I think it was 2 years ago that Nick had not played Premodern, picked this deck up, and took down the main event at Eternal Weekend. So, good player, good dude. Thanks for the list, Nick. And hopefully we can do it justice today. I mean, sideboard, pretty straightforward. I think the blasts and the back to basics are going to be pretty straightforward, as well as the annul as to when we want them. Curse Totem, I mean, I can't think like offhand exactly what we want it for, but it's going to be obvious when it does come up. I mean, it stops mana dorks. There's a lot of those. And there's some other stuff that I'm sure will come up. AK, I would imagine, is for some of the more controlling or grindy matchups. I wouldn't hate having the card in the main, but I can understand Impulse instead. Impulse will find your Dreadnought combo quicker than AK will. But if you're in a control matchup, you don't necessarily need to do that. You just need to keep hitting your land drops and eventually accrue enough card advantage, which AK is probably better at doing. So I would imagine that's often going to be just a quick swap. Probably not exactly 4 and 4. Maybe there's some, you're not as worried about putting the combo together quickly. Maybe Vision Charm gets trimmed. I don't know. We'll see. Misdirection will be interesting. It's good for counter wars. It's not very good against discard in this format because for one, Hymn to Turok is not in the format, and two, there's no Thoughtseize, right? So it's Duress and Duress, though you can misdirect it. The only target remaining remains to be yourself, because Duress says target opponent. So don't ever ask a judge if you can misdirect a Duress, because they'll be forced to painstakingly say yes. And then you're gonna feel every piece of it. You can feel every piece of that Duress. But yeah, not much more to say about the deck. It's pretty straightforward. We got our combo, we got our draw spells, we got our counter spells. That's what we're doing. I'm not going to play in the CPL League for a couple reasons. One, it takes a lot longer to go through it. It basically takes my whole day, as oftentimes you have to wait between 10 and 15, upwards of 20 minutes. Sometimes it's quick, but to find opponents for it. And I've noticed, generally speaking, the competition isn't significantly higher. Even in the CPL, the stakes are very low. And unlike, say, the practice room in Legacy or whatever format that has leagues, like if you're in the practice room for Legacy or Modern or Standard, whatever, you're playing it instead of a low cost but reasonable stakes league. And so there is a tendency to have lower competition and people more willing to just leave and, stuff like that. But with Premodern, your options are practice room or the league, and you can only play, it's a bi-weekly league. After you play your matches, you have to wait for the next league. Basically, there's, the matches are high quality in the practice room for Premodern in comparison to other formats. So we're just going to play there, and I will see you in the first match. All right, here we are in round one against kweiss. We're on the draw. Stifle, Daze, foil is kind of a weird hand, but I guess I'll keep it. Feel a lot better if I had some sort of cantrip, but we do have a lot of those in the deck, so... Free top village. Okay. Land is not a bad draw. I will pass. We're gonna fetch a Windswept Heath. Seal of Cleansing. The Powder Keg doesn't touch that. There's only creatures and artifacts. We can stifle it later. I think by the time we go to use Dreadnought, we can also stifle the Seal of Cleansing. I have multiple stifles. You could just cash in the Daze there. But I don't know. I don't think it's necessary. Thornscape Familiar. Okay. I mean, maybe I should just hardcast Daze on that. But I have something in hand that can deal with it. It'll take some time. Just gonna play out the Powder Keg here. I have no idea what this is. I've never actually played a deck that put a Thornscape Familiar on this deck. Alright, we take 2. Go to 18. We're gonna immediately Seal of Cleansing this thing. I'm gonna stifle it just because I have multiple of this type of card. I'm gonna play another Seal of Cleansing. That's fine. I'm gonna immediately kill Keg. Well, I'm gonna sacrifice it. Sure. Alright, oops, all counter spells. So, we were really hoping to hit some sort of card selection spell at this point. By this point. But, that's alright. All of Roots. Alright. I don't think Daze is gonna get better. I want to keep 1 so I can always pick up an island for this foil. Maybe it would have been better to just hold that Daze as the other card that discards the foil. Here we go, a Gush. This is what we're looking for. Beautiful. Impulse. Could take another Powder Keg or just another Impulse. It's probably the Impulse. Any order. Replay a land. And pass. And just like that, we're looking pretty good here. Maybe I should have main phased the Impulse. If I hit, like, a bunch of junk in a Portent, I would have wanted to cast it. Yeah, it was probably correct Impulse there. Not the end of the world. Alright, we go to 14. All the herd. I'm gonna hard cast Daze. Guess that's why they wanted to get rid of Powder Keg. At least one of the reasons. Flash, huh? Alright. Let's play a land. And probably just set up an end step flash here. We'll see what happens. Continue to take 2. Sure. Olive roots. Sure. What is this? 2/2, when it enters, you may return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Well, that's annoying. You could stifle. You can flash for 1, and then stifle. Or get impulse. I think I want to flash for 1. Maybe not, huh? That only... I was thinking it's like a scry or something. It certainly is not. That just makes it a regular cantrip. So I'm going to impulse. Alright, finally found the Dreadnought. I could ignore it. Take Counterspell and counter this. Or I could take it and stifle this. I think I'm going to take the Dreadnought and stifle this trigger. Okay. I mean, I could let them, like, play it so that they have to spend the mana, but it's only 1 mana with this Familiar in play. I'd rather save my own mana. Another foil. We have 3 cards. Alright, I think I still need to wait another turn. I think I want to flash for 1 into flash back. Flash of Insight for 1,000,000. We want to get some islands in our hand so we have foils. We are at the point where 1 Dreadnought probably doesn't actually do it. It is a bummer. Alright, let's flash. Could hard cast the foil here, but I think I need to get moving with our own plan here. Okay, we get another foil. Exile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be all of them. I don't know what the odds are that I'm going to be flashing again. Sure. Pretty much just looking for an island, though. Feels a little bit silly. I could take a... Oh, Gush is just so good. That's the way to get multiple islands and draw 2 cards. Could Gush and foil this? No. That's fine. Now we're looking for second Dreadnought. And another Stifle effect. Let's Gush here. Oops, all islands. Okay. That's not great. Well, maybe we did have to counter that, because I don't... This isn't Stifle, this is Vision Charm. We're not going to get it until next turn. They can crash in pretty hard here. I think we wrecked ourselves. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, they have lethal. Yeah. Sure, I could have played this differently. They presented a lot of issues, though. A bunch of Seal of Cleansings is really annoying. They don't go for lethal. Weird. Basically have to find the other Powder Keg, but I think we bottomed it. Like, we have no way of shuffling. All the Blossoms, sure. Yeah, we're in trouble. Alright, we'll go next. I mean, my guess is... Or not my guess. Now that I know just how good Powder Keg is in this matchup, I don't think we had any business bottoming it when we did. First totem stops Wall of Roots. I think that's about it. I want the annuls. And back to basics. Let's see, I want the Powder Kegs. And trim a Vision Charm. Maybe even 2. One of the flashes and a foil. Might even be Daze instead of the foil. I mean, I know it's better on the play, but it seems like they're pretty good at playing around it. We can keep this. Seems pretty good. Treetop Village, we will opt. I will keep another land. Go to turn. Null. Don't hate that. Suppose I'll hold that up instead of casting Powder Keg. A fetch land. Yeah. I'll stifle this. Go to our turn. Another annul. Play out land number 3. I'm going to play out the Powder Keg. Get a brush land, Seal of Cleansing. We will annul that. Get it out. No, we'll keep this on 0. Foil not the worst. I will Gush. Play land. Play it back to basics. I think game is going as planned. They said didn't expect that. Is Dreadnought doing that these days? Okay, they've got a forest. Pick up a Stifle, get a land drop. Look at an impulse. Okay, we'll take a Gush and pass. Gush is so good. Oof. Treetop Village into the back to basics. Brutal. Okay, no. I'll just make a land drop and pass. We don't need to Gush yet. It's exactly the card that we want, but we just don't need to do it yet. Ooh, they hit another basic. Alright, let's annul this. Go to our turn. Keep that on 0. Play a land. Pass. Do I want to be hard casting this Gush? Potentially. Sacrifice. Okay, let's let this go. We can stifle it. No. Aw. Well, let's Gush here. Cast this Opt. Bottom Island. Daze. Now I'm wishing I countered this Aura of Silence. Guess that's okay. I will pass. They're going to try to remove back to basics. Or not. Gonna save it for Dreadnought. Does make Dreadnought cost more. Play this thing. They have 3 cards. I'm gonna alternate cast foil. Discarding 2 islands. If I tap out, I can't stifle the aura. No. Okay, another back to basics. Well. Call the herd, sure. Okay, powder keg, we'll leave it. Time is definitely something I'm somewhat worried about, at least. Alright, Portent. I'm gonna shuffle. We need to find more draw spells. We'll pass. There we go. Gush is a good draw. Definitely worried about the clock. Go to 17. This doesn't seem like an easy matchup. Okay, draw a card. Another Daze is not great. Let's Gush. Let's play an island. Cast Impulse. Take Flash. And play another powder. Oh, it costs a bunch. Okay. I guess we'll go to discard and just discard one of these Dazes. They've got 5 cards in hand. Crashing in for 3. I'm actually going to crack this powder keg. Maybe it'll prompt them to flash it back. Might just have another one in hand. Carpet of Flowers. Yikes. Let's flash. Guess I'll take an island. Sure, carpet's in. Okay, go to our turn. Another Dreadnought. Okay, let's... I guess I don't want to main phase this flash. I'll have to go to discard. 1, 2, 3. Gonna end step this flash. They get 1,000,000 mana. Flashback Call of the Herd, sure. Another Call of the Herd, sure. That's fine. Play Flash of Insight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I guess. I want to save some for flash number 2. So we want another Stifle. We'll take that. Play land. Play powder keg. And pass. And blow up these elephants. We're not going to have enough time to play game 3. We managed to pull this game off. But imagine they have some number of swords, too, that we're going to have a tough time fighting over. Wall Roots is fine. Crashing in. Blow up keg. I think they probably should have crashed in first. Now they can't flashback Call the Herd without walking into Daze. Oh, yeah, they can. There's a Wall of Roots. Alright, let's cast Impulse. Vision Charm. Yeah, I'll take Vision Charm. Any order. That's fine. No foils. Island, okay. Play Dreadnought. Abeyance. Tapped out. No, not tapped out. Because of Wall of Roots. What's no, they used it. Not think I'd get mileage out of this Daze, but here we are. comes in, we stifle it, and can't really do another one because of this aura. It's an annoying card. Maybe I should have countered it. We'll see. They still have 4 cards over there. Parallax Wave. Yikes. Okay. I think we lose to that. Sure. I can try to save it, but they'll just activate it again. Brutal. Alright, we got a 14. I think we're mostly dead. Another Dreadnought. Could take a hit and then play another back to basics. 6, 9. It's so much damage though. I think we have to stifle this. I think we had a chance until they played Parallax Wave. Another Carpet. 2 cards in hand, crashing in. I would imagine every game takes this much time. And I've not managed the clock particularly well. Okay. Wave goes down to 2. Lots of carpeting happening. Crashing in for another 3. Alright, they've got a land. Still 2 cards in hand. It's a lot of islands. Maybe that one should have stayed in hand. I don't know, I think we mostly lost. Wave goes down to 1. We go down to 5. Carpet stuff. Passing. We'll cast an opt. We'll bottom a foil. A null. Well. Bummer. Alright, Parallax Wave to 0. And we go to 2. Sure. Carpet stuff. Carpet stuff. Ranged Hermit. I don't think I can beat that. Treetop Village. Okay. Foil, sure. So now we get Dreadnought. And... oh, we die because I have Vision Charm, not Stifle. So I guess I was supposed to make a Dreadnought the turn before. Or do I just not even have an opportunity? Because it's on 0. Then we play it. Yeah, then it's still phased out. Yeah, we were just dead. Yeah, I'd say overall, now that I've played this match, if I know I'm playing this match, I would definitely play it pretty differently. But, you know, never played against this and never played this deck, so we are learning. See you in round 2. Hey everyone, thanks for making it this far. Just wanted to thank everybody, and if you're looking for more, show you where you can find that. If you go to the description below, you can find all of my links. If you go further down in the comments, you can also find my links, which will bring you to my Patreon, various tiers for Discord access, early access, sideboard guides, donation decks, coaching sessions. You can also check out the podcast within those links, as well as my Twitch, where I do most of my content. You can see the commands that you can use in the chat. Let's say you do dono. You're wondering how to get a link, how to do it. Tells you right here. And the members Discord is within the Storm, MTG Storm community. And of course, it's always going to help if you hit the like and subscribe. So thanks again. Keep storming, y'all. All right, here we go. Round 2 against Ron's 666. We're on the play with an acceptable hand. I'll keep. It's a very good hand. You get to turn 2 Dreadnought with Daze and foil backup. Do I even need to portent? It doesn't really matter. Actually, yeah, it does. I want to find another island. No, I don't, because I can just Daze. Daze picks up an island. Huh. I mean, I guess I'll cast it. Maybe the answer is portent them, because it doesn't matter what card we draw, and then I know more about what they're doing. Another land, another portent. Sure. Vision on the bottom. Don't shuffle. Draw. Swamp Duress. I mean, they take Vision Charm. Sure. I guess it's kind of scary if, I mean, I wish Vision Charm was on top of my deck right now, but that's fine. It was going to be kind of scary if they took foil and then, like, had something that would kill Dreadnought around Daze. I'm just not going to cast this portent, though. Already drawing the perfect card. This creature does come into just play, the player discards a card. 1/1. Some pretty sweet art. That's fine with me. So now we Dreadnought. Phase it out. And I guess I play Island. And I guess I'll cast Portent. I'm gonna shuffle these. rather find some draw spells. If I draw Gush, that's great. But otherwise, my hand just doesn't really matter. I have Daze plus foil. Oh, I guess getting hit by this is annoying. Sure. Garden Island. It's not like they can do anything to Dreadnought. It's phased out. Raise the Gix. It's the 2-1 and they get to re-add 3 mana. Sure. Creature another. Create a 2/2 zombie. I'm gonna Daze this. Doesn't really matter, but it sounds like it could wind up like comboing. Alright, I'm just gonna make sure I have foil available. Crash in for 12. I gotta beat this thing through a foil. Yeah, flash was a great draw. Because we can discard the flash. And then it's just insane. Even more insane if we flash into another flash. But mostly flash just wants to flash into any card. So that we can foil. Cycle, unearth. Desperate times. Got him. Alright. I've never quite seen this deck that we're playing against either. It might just be some like variation of the rack. Either way, I think I like AKs against all this discard. Taking out an L could be a mistake. There might be some black enchantments that I really don't want to see, but I don't know. Feel like I can trim a Daze. Playing AKs, I'm probably supposed to trim some amount of impulse. Let's try this. 1 lander, no opt. We have 17 lands. 3 opt. I don't think I'm supposed to, but I'm going to keep it. Playing against discard. Mulliganing sucks. That's a dark red. Ball therapy. Probably names Dreadnought, if I had to guess. Yep. You got me. Another one. I mean, even just playing a dude and then flashing it back hurts a lot. Clerics. Sacrifice 3 clerics, search your graveyard, hand, and or library for a card named Sign of Darkness, put it onto the battlefield. I don't know what Sign of Darkness is. Could look it up. Alright, we hit our next land. Well, this game doesn't feel great, I'll say that. They get in for 2. They only got 3 cards. See if they want to flashback this Cabal Therapy. Or if they're trying to get to 3 clerics. Alright, flashing back. I would imagine they're hitting Counterspell. Get their 2 for 1 while they can. Yep. Alright. Well, we've got some comeback cards in our hand. So I think we're doing alright. Fort is a little annoying, I guess. Take 1, that's fine. They go on AK and then... Oh. Powder Keg? I guess I'll impulse. If I find a Daze, I'll probably cast it. I don't know how much I care about this. I just grab Gush here. Any order. That's fine. Because we can just stifle it eventually, if we can get ahead on cards enough. Alright. I'm gonna Gush. We only have 2 islands, but I'm still gonna do it. Powder Keg is pretty funny. I guess I'll play out the Powder Keg. Okay. They tick up their Powder Keg. Like, our Powder Keg will just eventually answer theirs. Really don't want to have to cast this Daze. Ball Therapy. It's fine. I don't have a single good hit in my hand. Just naming Dreadnought again? Yeah. Sure. They only have 2 cards. Let's pick this up. Play a land, pass. They leave theirs at 1. They draw a swamp. They're gonna flashback Cabal Therapy. Okay. I mean, I guess I'll cast my AK. I just don't care if they hit either of those. I don't really care if they named AK either, but I think it makes sense. Sure, you got my Daze. So you can play Priest. Okay. Into Recurring Nightmare. Okay. I see. Alright, let's pick up. Draw. Find a Dreadnought. I will pass. Keg ticks, or stays. Basically gonna cycle this flash. Yeah, we take 2. Another one of those, sure. Let's cast. Flash. Counterspell. No. Port me. Sure. I guess I probably should have flashed. Let's portent. More islands, another portent. I'm gonna shuffle and pass. Opt, sure. We've got one card. Crashing in for 3. It's fine with me. Let's go for flash here. Get rid of everything except AK. And could take Vision Charm. I'm gonna take the AK. Say no on the keg. They didn't port us. I'm gonna cast Opt. Stifle. There's one of the cards that I need. Play land. And I will pass. You could AK here, but then the port is gonna screw with Counterspell. Again, I could AK here, but again, they could then main phase the port, although then they don't really have mana. Maybe I should have just cast it. I don't know, we'll see. 3, so we go down to 8. Cast the AK. Cast the Opt. Bottom the island. Find another island anyways. Getting ported, sure. Say no. Portent. I'm going to cast that one. Stifle double portent. I'm going to shuffle. Play a land. Could wait one more turn. Have more mana. I can stifle and counterspell. Or I can just blow up their keg. Let's go for it here. This could go wrong. Alright, we have to stifle this. And in my head we had 2 because we saw another one with portent. We do get a portent draw. We're hoping it's like Gush, AK. Foil wouldn't be the worst, but rather just we have a lot of really good draw spells in our deck, and we've cast 2 portents, haven't found them. Non-zero chances Dreadnought just gets there from here. Still haven't looked up that unknown card, but I would imagine we do not want them to get to 3 clerics. Stifle's nice, though. Yeah, Stifle's real nice from here. Alright, crashing in. They go to 8. Feeling pretty safe here. Can't really afford to attack. Well, sure. Blocking doesn't really help them either. That's a Dark Writ. Okay. I think we're going to see that card that we didn't want to look up. Let's hope it's not counter... Oh, alright. No, we got him. GG's. See you in round 3. Alright, here we go. Round 3 against vertuk. And I suppose we can keep this. A little land heavy, but I think that's probably okay. Play island. I will cast this portent. Yeah. Put keg on the bottom. No shuffle. And then we can decide what we want to do with keg. Forest elf. Okay. Well, let's play an island and pass. I think powder keg is going to be pretty good. All the blossoms is fine. Korean Ranger is fine. And I will put the keg in hand. And then opt again. Stifle. I mean, we're eventually going to need that to make a Dreadnought. I guess I'll keep it. Oh. I think I still want a keg here. The next turn we can blow up their 1-drops. And play Dreadnought Stifle with Counterspell. No foil available. Unless I draw a Gush. Winter Orb? Okay. And a Lizard. Sure. I mean, I think this is all fine. I don't need Counterspell. I can use foil instead. That's if I even need that. Right, untap an island. Tick up this powder keg. Another keg? I think I still just want to blow this one up. Untap for no reason. Oh, they wanted to return the forest. For the Winter Orb. Makes sense. Alright, let's go Dreadnought. And Stifle. Holding up this foil. Our best draw is just another island, I think. Elf is fine. Untap one of these islands. Counterspell. Because it makes sense to just play the island. Daze would have been a great draw too. Okay. Hopefully this Dreadnought holds up. Currently, they can't block enough. Yeah. Cool. Elves, huh? Well, there's Totem. Pretty good. Don't think I need a null. I don't know that I don't need it, but I don't think I'll need it. EKs don't necessarily make sense to me. Misdirection doesn't make sense. Back to basics. I would imagine they have a lot of basics. Yeah, I just want Cursed Totems. I still like Powder Keg. Let's see, outside of the Annul, probably just one of the Dazes. I mean, if they're going to be Winter Orbing, Daze is so good. I don't know how much they're Winter Orbing. I guess Annul does counter Winter Orb. But that's it. Going to trim a Vision Charm. Okay, a bunch of lands, a Daze Portent, Vision Charm. I mean, sure. Mulligan to 6. Oh my god, it's a dork. Powder Keg. Pretty good. Portent. Bunch of junk. 2 lands and a Daze. No thanks. Wheel Shuffle. Draw a Stifle. Okay. Not the best. All of Roots. Okay. Varian. Okay. Yep. Pick up Forest. Untap. Replay. Survival. Alright. Annul is looking better. I don't think I can let this resolve. Oh, they can pay. They didn't. Oh no, they can only use it once. They already used it. Gush. Okay. I mean, this game would be so much different on the play, right? We'd have Powder Keg in play. Okay. Got 4, 5 mana. Morph. Sure. That kills an artifact or enchantment, I believe. That's a bird. So, I think I want to get Keg into play with Stifle up. So let's cast Opt. Dreadnought is nice. Play a land and pass. Yeah, my plan is to get Powder Keg into play. When they morph this thing, try and kill it. We'll stifle it. Then we can blow up 1-drops, and then the following turn, we can Dreadnought plus Vision Charm, and we'll be able to draw some more cards with Gush and hopefully be able to protect it. Another 1-drop, we like that. Counterspell. Get this Keg in there. Keg Party. I think that's what this morph is. The green dude that kills an artifact or enchantment when it gets morphed. They just have Naturalize in hand. Good Vision Charm it. I think I'm supposed to Gush, though. Because I'd rather foil it. If I Vision Charm it, then they can kill it with a morph. Then I can Dreadnought, but... Daze ain't gonna do shit. If I draw Daze... Yeah, I guess I Vision Charm. I could always... I don't know. I think it's worth doing. Time to morph. Yep. Alright, that's fine. You could Gush there, right? Because I can still Dreadnought Stifle next turn, but I wouldn't have Counterspell backup. The question is, can Dreadnought beat this board? I think they might be able to race us is the problem. But I'm going to go for it. Because now we can block. Elf. I'm actually going to Gush. I'm going to be doing this no matter what. Okay, that's fine. Definitely in trouble to another Naturalize, because I'm not going to not Impulse on end step. Squee. Sure. Impulse. Another Gush. Actually going to take that Gush. There's an argument for Opt, but I don't think a strong enough argument. Can't attack. Question is, can we attack? If they start Alpha Striking, 1, 2, 3, they get in for 4. It doesn't really work. We attack, really only going to do like 8, then they can swing back. Yeah, we don't win that. So we're kind of stalemated for now. We have to find ourselves a second Dreadnought. Since we're stalemated, I think Gush drawing 2 cards is just more important. And then if we're pressured to do it in a pinch, it's also better than Opt. Drawing 2 for 0. Yep. Stalemate continues. Daze is terrible. I will pass again. Counterspells will ensure that the stalemate continues for a bit longer. Probably enough time so that I can hardcast Gush. Not without risk, however. If I hardcast Gush, I might not do that. We get got by Naturalize. Oh, and enters when you search your library for basic land. I'm going to play tapped. The 2/2 as well. Yeah, I think just putting another 2/2 onto this board is actually kind of bad for us. Untap. Okay. I'm gonna Gush here. If I draw an Opt, I'll want to cast it. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that card. A pretty good one. Let's play it. So this means they only have 2 mana, so my Daze is back to being good. At least decent. Still can't really attack. Let's chill here. If they don't put a land exactly into play, I can still opt and be able to counter naturalize. So let's go ahead and do that. Stifle, that's one of the cards we will need because we want to put another Dreadnought into play. I'll keep that as much as I'd rather find some more card draw. Card draw is ultimately looking for a Stifle and a Dreadnought anyways. Right. I don't hate getting more islands into play. Raw. Portent. Pulse foil stifle. Sure. I'm gonna take this foil. I could take impulse and move past the foil, but then I'm only seeing 2 new cards. I'd rather just take the foil because it's not like terrible. And then I'll just cast the impulse on our turn. Do find a 3rd land. That makes Daze a bit worse. Let's cast impulse. Oof, these are terrible. Vision probably better than Stifle here. Can save our Dreadnought. I'm gonna naturalize. Alright, we'll keep passing. We'll eventually find another Dreadnought. Find their 4th land. Okay. Another foil. Well, let's play another island. And hardcast foils pretty effectively at this point. I think I would rather just keep putting islands into play. Portent. Foil, stifle, counterspell. No. Shuffle. Island. Pass. A fetch a forest. Another island, huh? Anger. I'm gonna hardcast the foil. If they get a 2/2, especially haste, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then they can alpha strike us. Alright, we gotta find that Dreadnought. Alright, there it is. Play it. And stifle. And now we can attack. We can do some mass jumping. Sure. We go to 4. Yeah, I guess I'll play the island. I can hardcast foil, counterspell, vision charm. They get the squee back. He said GG. We got them. They had this thing. Yeah, totem is insane against them. It took a little bit, but that was kind of a slaughter. Cool. 2-1, see you in round 4. Alright, here we go. Round 4. 1 lander with a portent. I will keep. And is pretty decent. Hopefully we just draw an island. We did not. I will cast the portent. These are pretty nice. Put foil down. Opt. Draw the island. And pass. I suppose I shouldn't be F6 to do Dazes, but I don't know what they're going to end step with 1 swamp. I feel a lot better on the play here. Powder keg. That is annoying for our Dreadnought. Could Daze it. Think I'm going to let it go. Play 2nd island and pass. We know we have foil on top. We'll probably just look past it with impulse. We missed the land drop. I like that. Cast our impulse. Grab an island. Any order. Draw Gush. Not bad. I was considering opting main phase. If you wind up finding a portent, you probably want to cast it, but kind of puts us in a vulnerable spot if we do that. Alright, they're going to AK for 1, that's fine. I think this is Psychatog. I don't know for sure, but I think that's what this is. This is going to be a long one. Almost definitely. Yeah, I guess we'll just opt. Dreadnought. Yeah. Put that in hand. Go to my turn. Okay, island. That's great. Now I'm not pressured to go for it. I think we'll let this land go. There's an argument for stifling it. A reasonable one, too. I feel like I don't have enough time to think about it, though. Kind of tips them off that you have stifle if you sit there and think about it. But I think we need Stifle for this keg. Alright, now we can flash for 2, which feels pretty good here. Take another island. Go to our turn. Another Dreadnought is interesting. Play a land. Yeah, I don't think it's quite go time yet. The question is, do we hardcast the Gush, or do we flash? We probably flash. Then we probably main phase a Gush, alternate cast. Let's see what this flash comes up with. A lot of good hits here. Counterspell, foil. Even just an impulse, I'll cast it. Guess I'll take Portent. Sure. There's a foil. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's time to jam one of these. We've got a whole lot going on over here. They're gonna start off with a mana leak. I don't think I'm supposed to just pay. I'll start off with a Daze. Get them tapped out. They're gonna pay. As expected. We're gonna Daze again. Dreadnought's gonna come in. We're gonna phase it out. They're gonna crack keg. We're gonna stifle the keg. Snuff out. I'm gonna Gush first. If I draw another Daze, I'd rather use that. That works too. Phase it out again. Okay. Snuff out. Get out of here. Okay. Replay a land. Might as well cast Portent. Could target them, but not going to. Say okay. Put Impulse on the bottom. Island. Opt. Maybe that didn't make sense. I'm going to opt the island away and draw into the impulse, but really I probably should have just drawn the opt and the impulse and then look past the island with impulse and then have opt still. Whatever. And we've still just got a straight up hard counter here. What do we do about Psychatog if they play it? I think our thing is bigger, right? 5, 10, only just barely. A main phase Foffers? Sure. It is Tog. I think I want to split Duress and Tog. I split it like this. I guess if they already have a Duress, this pile is pretty nice for them. Yeah, they took the Tog. Let's opt away this island. We just want to find another foil. Play a land. Cast Impulse. I think I take Portent. We're walking into Daze. Maybe I just take Daze. No, I'll take Portent. Any order. There's another foil. Keg on the bottom. Flash. Foil in hand. No shuffle. Don't want to F6 because of Snuff Out, which is pretty clear they don't have. And now we have double counter. Seems good to me. Innocent Blood. Also a pretty good one. I'll just discard 2 islands. We know they at least have Psychatog. If they also have a Daze, we're in trouble. Counterspell. Let's counter the Innocent Blood. That's all I got. Now they're gonna have another counter. It's brutal. Okay. They're at 2. Draw a Stifle or a Vision Charm? Or no, we know we're drawing Flash. Sure. Might as well cast it. Damn. I think we're dying. I think we died. That's a big old Tog. We draw a Vision Charm. Okay. It just doesn't matter though. Vision Charm doesn't actually... I guess I was supposed to flash. That doesn't matter either. Yeah, we're just dead. 3, 4... 8 plus 4, 12. Alright, I guess we're not dead in one hit from Psychatog. Well, with Cephalid, maybe they can put 3 more in the yard. That's 16. Then draw step, they go to 4 cards. So it's 20 in the yard afterwards, plus the 4, 5. They can 15 us, provided nothing else changes. Draw with Coliseum now. 21 cards in the yard. The Coliseum itself as well, but that still doesn't change the math. Psychatog looks like a sweet deck. Alright, they discard a couple lands and a Tog. We're gonna phase out Dreadnought. That's all I got. We'll see what they have here. We can't attack into the Tog, but they can't really attack us if they don't have anything else. They probably have some excuse me. They probably have something else though. We've got 4 cards in hand. I'm just gonna F6. Time is definitely a factor in this matchup. We're behind almost a minute. After this turn, it should be pretty close to even. I'm actually perpetually a bit behind in these YouTube videos as far as clock goes, because I'm auto-editing each round in the background while playing the next round. It does slow things down a bit, but it's ideal for the workflow. Someday I'll buy a better laptop. Okay, we are now ahead on clock, so spending a lot of time on this. They have Cunning Wishes. Whoa. I don't really know how we get through this Tog, like, ever. I guess I'll split the Cunning Wishes. Powder Keg's pretty brutal. The rest is kind of brutal. I mean, the answer is Powder Keg, but it's going to take so long. And they're probably about to duress us. Yeah, they take the, duress, Keg, Cunning Wish. Now they duress us. They might even just have enough to kill us now. Factor Fiction definitely changes the equation quite a bit. They have 6, 7, 13. They have exactly 20 here. It didn't matter how we split that. Just super dead no matter what. But we are a bit ahead on clock, so this is part of their deck. We'll make them do it. I'll see you in the sideboarding. Alright, now we're ahead almost 2 minutes. This doesn't seem like an easy matchup, though. They just have so many ways to deal with our Dreadnought. We're such a one-trick pony. Like, we could AK. We want to play that game. I feel like our best chance is a fast Dreadnought, though, and some timely counter magic. And AK is kind of doing the opposite. We probably have to AK on the draw. Misdirection, probably good enough. Countering counterspells. I don't know that we want it on the draw. Powder Keg is sus. So is a null, though. I mean, I guess Keg is good. If you can play it early, then you can have time to take it up to 3. There's also just Cursed Totem. Oh. Okay. I mean, I think Cursed Totem's probably just good enough that playing them. I guess one problem still doesn't help us kill them. Alright, I'm gonna say on the play, I don't want Powder Keg. Totem's better at doing that. It doesn't take as long. Right, sure, we'll keep. I mean, this is a fast, protected Dreadnought hand. Mostly what we're looking for. We're trying to find a Daze and another island. They mulligan a 5. We take those. They kept on 5. It will portent immediately. Island, Stifle. Yeah. We definitely keep. Put the Stifle to the bottom. And we'll pass. This way, if they duress us, they might take Vision Charm. Since they don't know we'll have the Stifle. Again, you cannot, well, again, you can misdirect a duress, but it doesn't work out well. Target opponent. You can retarget yourself. Yep. Beautiful. So, I'm not getting dazed. However, we do have to Gush. I mean, this is what we came here to do. We're hoping there's another blue card underneath. And there sure is. Play it. I guess Vision Charm makes more sense. No it doesn't. Well, later on Vision Charm can be a counter to Snuff Out. Either way, I think the timing isn't going to make it matter. Alright. We got a hold. Innocent Blood is a bitch. Powder Keg. I mean, we have Vision Charm. Yeah, I'll let this go. Because now if we draw another blue card, we've got a lot of stuff covered. We did. Pretty good blue card, too. You get in for 12. Pass. We'll let him put it to 1. It's similar to vision charming it, except things go wrong. They'll still have a powder keg if we vision charm it. Alright, they have 3 cards. They crack the keg. We phase our Dreadnought. They cast, like, Mana Leak, I would imagine. They play Force Spike in this deck, too. They're in the tank. Smother. Can't misdirect that. But it will foil. Guard both these islands. And we got them. Okay, the question is, are we supposed to remain on the same plan on the draw? And how loose is attempting to move into AKs? Do we really want to play Powder Keg? Alright, I'm going to trim a Daze. I'm going to play these AKs. I'm going to trim an Impulse. Going to, I guess, trim 2 Impulse. I'm actually just going to trim an Island. Alright. Cantrips and card draw. We'll take it. They're resilient to duress. Keep. Alright, no duress opener. Island number 3 is fine. Pass it over. They're willing to move into a Stifle here. So they must have plenty of lands. Yep, second land drop. Pass this opt. I'm actually going to say no to Stifle. I feel like given the amount of card draw we have, we're going to incidentally draw Stifle or Vision Charm. And if we draw the Stifle and then draw another one, we're just in a lot of trouble. Okay, we're just looking to make land drops and leverage our card draw and have counter spells. Kind of the same thing they're trying to do. And we're locked in for the long haul here. Okay. To end step this AK. Portent. There's that Stifle we talked about. I'm just gonna pass. I'm actually gonna Stifle this. You gonna fight over it? Interesting. It kind of makes me want to fight over it. They could be baiting me into a fight so that they can resolve a Psychatog. But I do have Gush and foil. Could hit a Daze. And if that's not the case, if they miss a land drop here, they're probably done for. If they don't play Psychatog, I'm fine with this exchange as well. Sure. Alright, Island is a great draw. Let's just pass. And flash on end step. We definitely want to try to stop their Fact or Fiction. Can't imagine they're going to main phase it, though. Probably just hardcast foil if they do. Powder Keg. That's fine. Okay. Flash for 2. I'll take a foil, actually. I'm probably going to Gush this turn. Counterspell's kind of nice. Gush. Replay an island. Cast. Portent. These are pretty good. I should have just taken the opt. We waste the mana. Take a little mana burn. That's okay. EK is not okay. You'll pretty much fight over anything that's going to gain card advantage. Got double foil if we really need it. I think we're moving right along here. Oh. I will use a foil on this. Or an island and a vision charm. Okay. They have 3 cards. We're drawing opt. There's an island underneath. Play an island and pass. I mean, their clock. They're behind on clock. That is a legit win con for us. There's a Tog. Let's turn this opt into an island. And another card for flash. Cast their flash. Get rid of everything except AK. We can just let it go and play Curse Totem. Powder Keg's kind of annoying though. I think I would like a Counterspell out of these. And I will Gush and foil. Okay, that's dead. Draw Stifle. Sure. Pass the turn here. Who's the control deck now, bitch? This is a tough spot, though. They do have 4 cards in hand. They've got plenty of threatening spells to be casting. That's obnoxious. But I guess we let it happen. I think they take Counterspell anyways. Taking Flash doesn't really accomplish much. I guess you could take Stifle. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have put any order on that big Flash of Insight. They'll probably want totems. I'll flash for 1. Not a bad grab. Not bad at all. Not in love with double Dreadnought. Yeah, a nice flash for 3. Colosseum, sure. I'm gonna dig for another AK. I mean, I would love to find another AK. We've seen so many cards and no AKs. Does improve the quality of our current draw steps, I'll say that. I'm not sure that I'd hate some number of fetch land in this deck. Decent with Portent, and sometimes you want to be able to shuffle. Although there is benefit to knowing that you can't, or benefit to not shuffling. If I had chosen to actually order that flash. Okay, we will kill the Tog. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flash for 4. Yes, I'm picking up Vision Charm. Still no AKs. I guess Daze is not the worst. No, I'm gonna need Vision Charm. This'll do any order, I don't really care. A lot of Dreadnoughts. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. This is not, I mean, this is the spot that we've been playing towards, but our last, like, set of draws have just been terrible. We should have at this point, like, hit an AK, you know, or at least an impulse that finds an AK. AK is massive right now because they have 2 AKs in their yard. Come on, AK. Brutal. There's 3 AKs in the top, like, I don't know, 17 cards or whatever. Whatever amount of cards I bottomed with Flash. There's 15, yeah, like 15 cards. They have 4 cards in hand, they got 4 mana now. Stifle. Okay, well that has me wanting to at least do this. Phase out, they use Keg, we stifle it. And they have to use something else. Sure. They get us on that exchange. I don't want to go in on this counterspell for that. However, we are dead to Tog plus like land drop, mana leak, wonder. Fine. I mean, that is a problem. The bigger problem is we're just not drawing anything ever. It's actually pretty insane at this point. But I can't go countering a wonder. We may very well die to it. Okay, okay. Here we go. It's time. Circular logic. I will counter. Am I getting mana leaked? I am not. I am not. Okay. They have 2 cards. I will pass. Next turn looks pretty good. They have 2 cards. They get in for another 2. This is an intense match. I will unstep this impulse. They're gonna, what, Foff? Sure. Better Keg, Counterspell, and Duress Smother. Sure. You're gonna take Keg and Counterspell is my guess? Yes. Gush Daze. I want Gush. Draw Island. Let's cast the Gush. The Counterspell, that's fine. Yes, Portent. Dreadnought on the bottom. Draw into AK. Play Dreadnought. Phase it out. And pass. Get in for 2. They play a Powder Keg. Go into foil. Pitch an island. They have 2 cards. Minute and 10 left on the clock. They're gonna Gush. I'm gonna AK. Ooh boy. Still with AK on the stack. I mean Gush on the stack. I will AK again. Turns on Force Spike or Daze. Now we have foil, Gush. We got all this stuff. I'm gonna counter the Gush. Get rid of a couple islands. Egg is gone. They've got one non-island card in their hand. 10 cards left in library. Yeah, we knew they had Smother. I think we can guarantee some sort of counterspell. If not, we have more Dreadnoughts. Yes, I'll take Portent. Any order. Let's just let this go. Our last card is Island. Oh, misdirection. That wouldn't have worked. Let's go Dreadnought. Let's go for Stifle. And pass. Clock is now even. They have an island plus one unknown. Play the island. We might as well attack. We both have like 40 seconds on the clock. This is about as close as it gets. Portent targeting themselves, sure. And step opt. They only have 10 seconds left. We'll keep the island. Yeah, they took way too long on that portent. Play an island. Attack. Play a Dreadnought. Vision Charm it. Pass. And they're just gonna let their clock go down. Sure, you got a portent. 0 seconds. That was a crazy, crazy, crazy match. So our Gush would have found... I don't know for sure, but I feel like we have one more counterspell. Well, Moto's not going to let us look, so let's... Alright, no more counterspells. Oh no! I think that was all of our counters, but hey, we got there. That was intense. The 3-1, see you in the final round. Alright, here we go in the final round. Playing against Heckman87, run the draw with a reasonable hand. We'll keep. Lanes go. That's okay with us. Draw an Impulse, not bad. Play an Island, I'm just going to cast Portent here. Looking for... yeah, these are good. These are cards I want. I also want Islands, but I can Impulse. I guess I don't necessarily need Gush just yet. So I'll put that on the bottom. I'll draw the Daze. No shuffle. And then if we have the Daze, then that's okay. So we'll wind up drawing the Gush, which is fine. Alright, what do they got going on here? More planes. A 2/2 body with the first strike pro red. I think I'm just fine with that. So now we're going to make it 12/12, which seems a little bit better. And then we'll have Daze up, which also allows us to have foil up. I guess it gets blown... Well, it gets blown out by land, double swords. Because then we're not going to have a land. Maybe I don't need to Dreadnought yet. Would rather Impulse for another island. So that if it goes wrong, I still have 2 lands in play. And if they played something I really needed to counter, that would be fine too. I wouldn't really mind drawing Gush. Take 2 damage, that's fine with me. Looks like they have some red in their deck. Go to 18. Gonna morph a 3... Or morph a, what, Exalted Angel? I guess that's annoying enough. I'm gonna counterspell it. Let me draw Gush. I could upkeep the Impulse. No, I think it remains true that I don't mind drawing Gush. I think I'm gonna use it here. Because now we're gonna have multiple foils, at the very least, going. Let's go ahead and Gush. We found our 3rd island, so we can play this one. This is exactly how we drew it up. Play the Dreadnought, stifle the trigger, and now we have double foil and Daze up. This seems like a better position than... I mean, I think playing it early on turn 2 was likely to win, but this seems pretty close to locked. Yep. Here's 1 swords. Discard an island, and one of the Dazes. You have 3 cards in hand. Disenchant. Okay. I'm gonna foil. Discard island. I'm gonna discard the Daze. I mean, if they slam into a swords here, like they're not supposed to, right? I think I would rather have the Impulse. Like if they have a swords as the last card, they can just wait a turn. There's a chance that they wouldn't, and they just cast it. but I think the chance is very slim. And hopefully this holds. Ooh, that's a very good draw. That's effectively a counterspell for 1 mana, as far as what's important to us. A lot of swords and disenchants is pretty bad for us, I will say. We kind of set up a really strong hand, given the circumstances. Yeah, they just wait on the swords. Phase it out. They still have 2 cards. Hopefully this does it. Yeah. Alright. We got through it, but I don't know. I don't know how many times we're going to get through that circumstance. I think I need AKs. We need to be drawing a lot of cards. Misdirection seems legit. We saw red. I don't think I want blast. I'd have to see more cards. I would put a lot of money on I'm not supposed to be playing the blast. If we go through a really long, drawn-out game and I see like 5 red blasts from them, maybe I play them. I think on the draw I'm supposed to be trimming a Daze. It's kind of an essential card. Like, picking up islands is important, right? For foil, slamming quick dreadnoughts and protecting them. So I don't want to just like get rid of all my Dazes, but I definitely don't mind trimming one. A null can hit Seal of Cleansing. They showed Disenchant. I don't think I want a null, though. I could be wrong. I think I'm okay with trimming a Gush, especially since we're moving into AKs. And I can trim Impulse. I want all my threats. Powder Keg can help if they try to get under us. Maybe I don't need all my Stifles. I think it's going to be uncommon that we slam things quickly. Vision Charm's better because it can save my Dreadnought from removal. So let's trim there. This might be too much Impulse and AK, and I should just have my... Yeah, you know what? Well, Stifle can also hit Seal of Cleansing. Yeah. No, I'm going to trim one of the Stifles. We'll just keep the additional Impulses. Okay. This hand is fine. They get a Plains and pass. They just don't want to get stifled, I guess. I will play an island. Alright, they have a threat on 2. No. Just holding up interaction, that's fine. So I think our goal at this point is to make sure we hit land drops and find card draw. So Impulse is looking for like AK or an island. First strike pro red, that's fine. There's no world where I'm countering that. Let's cast this Impulse. AK and island. Fortunately, I don't think I can go for AK just yet. If I had drawn another island, I would have. Let's take the island. Bummer that an AK goes towards the bottom. Alright, we drew one. That's nice. Let's play our land, and we'll pass. I mean, as it stands, I could Dreadnought, Vision Charm, and then save it once. I think I'd like to set up more than that. Especially, like, obviously you 2-for-1 yourself from the start when you're making a Dreadnought, but that's why I want to get these AKs going. If I can go up 1 card, then I can afford to trade 2-for-1 with one of their removals as like a just really expensive duress, just a really roundabout expensive duress, to get me to a turn where I can like play a Dreadnought and really protect it. All right, let's AK. You could flash there, Flash of Insight. Maybe that's better because it's kind of the same thing, and then it gets the flash going. All right, this is exactly where we didn't want to be. Now we basically need an island on top, or we're kind of falling behind. There is not. Okay, that's a bummer. We go to discard. I mean, I still think I need, as bad as this flash is, and as much as it is value to discard it, it's, I think I just discard a counterspell here. The safer play would have been to just go to discard and discard the flash, right? And just say, okay, I missed my land drop this turn. But the problem is, you know, the benefit to that is, well, you still get kind of value discarding flash. And you get to hold up Counterspell, but it doesn't get through the deck more. I guess if you don't have to Counterspell, or you can choose not to Counterspell, then you can flash from the graveyard. It's not a very good flash, but that wasn't good for us, but I think we're okay. Right. We do need to find a land, though. So let's use this flash. Now it only costs 2 and actually digs a little bit. I'm not going to exile the AK. We desperately need an island. Okay, cool. Found the island. And now maybe I'm just supposed to throw one of these dreadnoughts into the Seal of Cleansing. They have 5 cards. It's either that or discard the flash again, but it's not a good flash. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to. We're gonna chant? That's fine. That was gonna get us at some point anyways. Feels like a less expensive duress. Okay. Really, I just want to draw an island. Can I just... If at any point we had naturally drawn an island or found one with that first flash for 1, we'd have been in such better shape, and it still holds true right now. Because then I can hold up counterspell, I can flash on end step. So bad for us we don't draw. I mean, if we draw like an impulse, that's fine. AK, opt. This direction is not fine. Do we flash for 1? Just hope and pray? I think so. You could flash for 2. It seems really bad. They both seem bad. Stifle, horrendous. Okie dokie. Yeah, we just didn't hit any lands. Go to discard. Discard one of these foils. Maybe I should discard Counterspell or one of the Vision Charms. I don't know. I mean, we still have a chance. It's just really slim. Basically, we have to draw Gush, I think. Not even in the worst spot if we do. They only have 3 cards. They've flooded out a bit. Alright, Islander Gush, Impulse, alright. Well, I will cast it. Wow. Okay, I'm going to take this opt. I'm going to Flash of Insight for 2. Finally found the island. I guess I'm opting. Yeah. Vortent will bottom that. Another Dreadnought. Okay, we gotta go to discard again. Like maybe I should have opted first. It would have found a land, and then I could have flashed on their turn, not gone to discard. I think it's still Counterspell here. We still mostly just want to draw Gush. I think this misdirection might be crucial. Come on, Gush. Impulse? Okay, I could find a Gush. It did not. Most certainly did not. I'm gonna take Daze here. Let's play Dreadnought. They're gonna chant. They can misdirect chant. No, they lost connection. I'm sure they'll be back in a minute. There's one of those spots where one of the cards in her hand, at least one of them, is going to step on the other card's toes. Like, I think I have to just live with not being able to foil, because it's just going to have to discard too many cards, right? Usually on a turn like this, you're casting a Gush, maybe even 2 Gushes, and maybe you cast the Portent the previous turn too, and just like ballooned your hand to 10, 11, 12 cards, whatever, and then you can make use of all this stuff. But I think I want all my Vision Charms and Stifles. I want to be casting Daze so that I pick up an island, so that afterwards I can replay Island and play second Dreadnought and charm it. Use 1 charm for this Dreadnought, and the other Stifle to Stifle Seal of Cleansing. So that means foil's gone. I'm going to misdirect this. Pitching, foil. I guess the problem is I can't really use Daze now. Unless they cast another spell. I don't know what they could cast here that would be relevant, though. Unless it's another chant, and then that kind of screws our whole plan anyways. Well, Dreadnought's in, we Vision Charm, they Seal Cleansing, we Stifle, and I guess we have to wait till next turn to do other stuff. We're gonna let it phase out. Also, we're at 6, right? And now we're gonna go down to 2. So if they have bolts, we're definitely done for. In fact, going to 2 is really bad. Because even if we get 2 dreadnoughts in play, we can't attack even with one of them. I mean, it's just kind of the cost of how poorly our draws went over the course of like 3 turns. Just not finding lands and having to go to discard a bunch. Bunch of Orum's chant is really annoying. All right, well, we've got a 12/12. I think we want to opt here. Another Vision Charm. No. Bottom that, we find another island. Now we get all the islands. Let's play another Dreadnought. Oh, this doesn't work. Because if I charm it, I don't have a blocker. If I stifle it, Seal of Cleansing gets me. Alright, there's just no way we get through here. Save time for game 3. Because of Seal of Cleansing, I don't think I do want to go down on Stifle. I still think a Null is probably kind of weak. I think trimming a Gush is pretty bad. I still like the AK plan. Let's trim an Impulse. Powder Keg is still quite good. I guess if I'm going to trim like a Stifle effect, I'd rather trim a Vision Charm. Because Stifle can hit lands, it can hit Seal of Cleansing. It's more useful. Yeah, we'll keep the sand. I guess if I can Stifle a fetch land, I will, so I'll hold up Stifle. Basically, we're not going to be able to portent until turn 3. It'll be awkward if we don't find another land. But I think the upside of Stifling is actually reasonably high. Cheese factor might just get him. Now I can cast Portent because I don't really need to be counterspelling. Oil Misdirection Impulse. I do like the Impulse. I will have to draw 2 of these unless I want to upkeep my Impulse. I think I'm just down to shuffle. Play an island. Pass. Draw Impulse, yep. Alright, any islands? Any islands? No. I think I want to Gush. If I find Daze, I might just go for it. Did I put my 3rd Daze back in? Oh, I didn't. I meant to. Let's Gush. It's just all islands. Alright. Alright, let's go in on this. Daze it out. Okay. We probably play around Daze here. They might get us on our upkeep. But they'd have to have 2 instant speed things. And then we can hold Counterspell up. Seal Cleansing. I do have to foil this. I will discard both islands. And now we get to our turn with Counterspell up. They need to have 2 things. I mean, not terrible odds. They're certainly capable of putting 2 things together. Another Cleansing and a Swords. That's why I wanted to find Daze. Or at least one of the reasons. There's Swords. Do they have another one? Or are they dead? They're dead. Sweet. Okay, so as expected, the deck feels really powerful, pretty damn smooth. It's the first time I've ever played it, and we 4-1'd, say, somewhat easily, but no, I mean, you gotta work for it. Obviously, I'm no expert on the deck. I'm sure I sequenced poorly at times. I think the general sequencing is pretty easy if you play enough blue decks or combo decks or blue combo decks. It's more so understanding what you need to sequence, looking like 3 or 4 turns ahead, you know? Are you making a quick Dreadnought and protecting it, and how are you doing that? Or are you trying to gain card advantage to make like a, you know, really big turn, X amount of turns down the road? So then it's a matter of like managing your gushes and making land drops and still maintaining card advantage, not dying to the board. I liked the AKs a lot. It's a nice option to have. It could certainly be something that you could play main. I could see that. I could see like going down a Vision Charm, not playing the main deck Annul, trimming one flash, or leaving the flashes and trimming a couple Impulse, but probably one Impulse, one flash, and then just playing the AK's main. I would probably... So, let's say you wanted to play AK's main. I think what I would do is move Annul to the side, op number 4, move the AKs in, trim one Flash of Insight, trim 2 Impulse, and trim 1 Vision Charm. And then, I don't know what you need more room for in the sideboard, but it does open up sideboard space. It just seems like you're losing a lot of equity having AKs in the board. Seems like a good enough card on its own on a deck that has this much control elements. Just my, like, first stab thoughts after playing the deck and what I would be testing. I think the 2 Flash of Insight is probably after enjoying the card advantage that you get from the card and being impressed by it to the point where you want 2, but we did see a couple times how awkward it was when we had 2 of them. And then playing AKs, we just have a lot of card advantage, but I don't know what I would play in the board because I don't know the deck well enough, don't know the format well enough. But I'm sure if you play this deck, if you play any deck enough, your sideboard becomes tight because you know what you need and you know your 16, 17, 18th card in the sideboard that you would love to have, but just don't have the room to play. At which point, here, you could play it. Maybe it's just higher numbers of the same, so that you have more of them in the matchups that you need them. I don't know. Again, I've only played this once. Take it for what it's worth. As far as my feedback, I'm not critiquing my buddy's specific list. I take his list to be, I would imagine I'd have to look at some lists, but at least close to stock. He's a very good player, has done well with the deck, but I haven't really looked at all the lists to see how close to a, quote, stock list it even was. And honestly, it's not like these are groundbreaking changes as far as the deck's construction. It's just lightly swapping around how it draws cards. But generally speaking, if you're drawing more cards in higher volumes and leaning on that plan a bit more, you don't need as many, like you can trim one of your primary combo cards. I do want 4-opt. Like the 1-mana cantrips I think are really important so that you're not missing land drops. Especially like when you're trying to hit your 4th land drop and your 2-drop draw spell that you main phase because you're desperate for it doesn't get there. You have 1 mana left over. Like it's important to have that portent or opt. But that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed. Certainly can be a very grindy deck. And I'll see you in the next Premodern video.